Hi, everyone. Welcome to Eyes Closed with Crown Empire. I'm here with Andrew. Andy, what do you prefer?
Whatever, either one.
So tell me about touring with Volumes and Cold Rain. I heard some pretty outrageous things. I don't know. Maybe they're like calmer. I don't know.
It's been amazing. I think we're done the last 4 days, so everybody's just like slowly disintegrating, like falling apart, um, but it's been amazing. This is the second time we've shared a bus in Europe, and we were like, oh, we know Volumes. This will be fine. It has been. I'm so happy that we did this downstairs instead of upstairs. I wouldn't even let you up there because it's just like a littered with like a tornado came through or like a bomb went off or something, and it was only McDonald's like is the only casualty. I found a bug, found a beetle in my cubby today. I was grabbing my clothes and I opened it up and it was face to face with just a bug. Um, but other than that, it's been great. I mean, the shows have been amazing. The fans have been great, but the bus situation, let me tell you. Mm.
You're being a bit too optimistic when you first started, maybe. And so obviously, a lot of fans are wondering what kind of stage you're in at the moment with regards to the new album. I heard that you've actually been writing on the road. So like, A, like, are the songs done?
Yeah.
And B, like, how's it been writing while you're on tour? And like, what kind of distractions were there?
I mean, okay, so 8 out of 10 songs done. I realized today I looked at the email because I like to put things off until the last minute. We have 6 days. As soon as this tour's done, I go back and we finish the last 2 songs, and they're mostly done. They're great. I'll show you later, but not you guys. Haha. It's been hard. We did it initially on an American tour just because less responsibility on us being like on a support tour, but not so much on this one. It's just been super hectic with everything, so I kind of had to turn my brain off and not think about it just because it was just like it's so stressful in the heat of the moment. It's like when you're in it
Yeah.
everybody's stressed out, people start crying, have like breakdowns, people want to fight each other, like it's a lot. It takes a lot out of us when we're working. So it's been nice to kind of just get my mind off of it, just worry about performing and having fun on tour. But today was the first day I kind of looked like peeked under the thing and be like, oh god, I don't want to look at it. But I think I know now what the album needs, the last 2 songs, and I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. Can I say fucking awesome?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Oh my God. It's a big tease. Big tease. Why do you think fans are gonna love it?
I think I've hit like a really good stride with writing things that are actually real and vulnerable. Like it's always been fun to write about, just stories, about something, but this is the most like here's my actual feelings, here's what I actually think, and here's the most, I don't know, like it's hard being vulnerable, and it's like you see now, like it's hard for me to keep a straight face because I'm so uncomfortable talking about my feelings, but it's the most open I've ever been, and the songs we put out already, I think, kind of just show you like this is it. This is a little taste of it, but there's tons of more in there.
Yeah. So you put out What I Am. How did it go down, like, with the audiences on this tour? Were you nervous about performing it for the first time?
Yeah, performing it for the first time is any new song ever is just like complete. You could practice it a million times in a studio and a rehearsal space, but the second you're like in front of people, every I think within like the first week, Mike from Volumes came over to us. Is like, how you guys feel about the new song? You're pretty nervous, huh? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I see you guys crushing it the whole set, and then all of a sudden that song comes on, and everybody's just like, I know. As I was saying, it's just like here's my baby, like here's this thing. Please don't hate it. Please don't make it weird. Like I try and say stuff like that sometimes, but by now, like it's been, we're 100% in it. I'm shocked that the fans, thanks internet for getting everybody to know all of it pretty quick. So it's been going over really well.
We have to talk about Everything Breaks. It doesn't happen all that often that I listen to a song and I'm just like, yes, it's so sad. Because, yes, that's all I want. That's all I want. So, like, can you tell me sort of about the circumstances of writing that? And did it kind of come to you all in one sitting or kind of stemming from one particular emotion?
Yeah, it was 100% one and done. We worked on it for one day. It was done. You can still hear like the vocal, like we just threw a filter on it to make it sound really crackly and really shitty on purpose. You know, just one broken down piano and this weird repeating piano thing that doesn't resolve. It's just this tension and tension and tension and tension, and just the most miserable song I've ever written in my entire. So much so that it's not gonna make the album. Like 9 times out of 10. I'm probably gonna keep it for myself, and if I ever put out like a miserable person album, that'll be on there. Right. I mean, we'll see. I was in like a really low spot, you know. Yeah. I think that last year was probably one of the hardest of my entire, like, as a band, as a human, with like my loved ones and like people that were close to me. I don't know, like just everything, like a giant tidal wave hit me, and I think that the song had to be made, not necessarily put out, but I said, fuck it, I'm gonna put it out either way. Yeah. It's too good of a song to not have on the internet. So I put it out there, and yeah, it just exists.
Thanks for doing that, man.
People think that like musicians will be like, oh, so much all at once, like all this giant emotion, when it's just like, no, I'll come up with like sometimes a sentence this day, and I won't touch it for months, and it'll develop into something. We've had a demo called Daddy Butter, which, don't ask, but it's been almost a year since we started it. We just finished it. Meanwhile, Everything Breaks is one day done, recorded. And that was one of the ones I think you can really tell that it's just like, it really hurt, you know, the whole time. And I think that that's something that people, I think, missed on some of our older stuff that I think I kept for songs like What I Am, is that actual vulnerability, you know, like you can sing like a fuck you, I'm tough guy song, but if you're not really believing in what you're saying, then it doesn't come across as real. And I think people can tell that. I think it sucks that the most vulnerable I can be is like the saddest I can be, but at least it was a step at like, okay, this is like everything at once. Now we can like tune the parts that we're going to use for what's best for Crown. So
speaking of being emo and sad AF, so like gig life, touring life, it's not always, you know, fun and games. Like obviously you're doing this full time and you're all pretty young still. Like that's one factor also. So like how do you kind of help each other out when you're on the road and kind of like, you know, not being at home for the next few weeks and you're kind of finding yourself having a hard time?
It's hard. It's definitely hard. Not saying things is the source of like 95% of the problem. Like if you could say what you were feeling right then and there, it's hard to have a balance that's equal, because you're so tightly packed with everybody all the time that one person's mood will affect everybody's mood all the time. So I don't know. Honestly, we're still trying to figure it out, but sometimes people want their space. Sometimes there's conversations that need to be had. Sometimes there's just like, don't fucking talk to me at all today, dude. Like, I don't even look at me, you know? But everybody does their own thing. Like, my drummer's out playing Pokemon Go right now. Like, my bass player is making hip hop beats for his homies. We're like in orbit constantly, you know, and sometimes things will collide and sometimes things will, you know, but most of the time it's just about keeping the balance while we're on tour, keeping everybody's spirits up. And I don't know, we drink a lot, so that makes things easier, I guess. I don't know.
Very healthy coping mechanism. For sure. Tell me a little bit about your drunk personalities.
Ooh, my drummer is the most funny drunk by far. He's the oldest, but he also becomes like the most like just giggly, like I love you bro moments. You know, like sometimes guys will go like hyper masculine and like grab you by the be like, I fucking love you bro, and that's where like, but he's just very like, you're the best and I'm gonna tell you why real quick. Which is great. And then he goes into a point where like he's not even speaking words anymore, but he's fully alert and awake and looking at you like directly in the eyes, but just not saying anything. Very intense. I'm like blown away that I was like, how are you still standing? Hoover gets reckless. I think Hoover embodies the most rock and roll drunk I've ever seen. Not necessarily angry, but we'll get off stage and he'll grab a handful of bananas and just smash them against the wall or something, and then, you know, not think about it. I don't know, like dump water on his head. We'll pee in like water bottles and like just leave him places and stuff. But it's fun. It's always hilarious to see. Like I have 1.5 million Hoover stories.
man.
And meanwhile, Tree keeps it pretty chill. I don't know. He's cold-faced killer, level-headed pretty much all the time. I haven't seen him do anything reckless since we were like teenagers.
All right.
And then me, I'm the first one to sleep. Always. I'm not very good. I like to pretend like I drink, like I'm good at drinking, but I'm not. It's so goofy, but since I've been doing like martial arts classes, like I've been doing a lot of like jujitsu and stuff, I'll just like wrestle my friends now.
Yeah, of course.
Which is just like a new bro-y thing I didn't know I existed in me.
I don't drink, but I wouldn't mind being out partying with you guys. Which German stereotype, if you're here in Germany, do you see confirmed, like on the reg?
We were just talking about it. There's like a weird, we call them like German compliments, and it's just like backhanded compliments, and and it's not like they're mean, like they're being rude. Yeah. It's just legitimately how they think. And so somebody would be like, hey, my girlfriend loves your band. Me, not so much. You know, like, you just stuff like that all the time. Yeah. He's like, your music too soft for me, a little bit too pussy, but you guys, you perform, you're good at singing. So stuff like that is like one thing. I was like, damn, you guys are cold.
Yeah. Cold is nice.
Yeah. So that's one.
That's jokes. Can you teach me, and that's the last thing I'll ask of you, can you teach me something Texan? I don't know if there's like a word y'all say,
you said or y'all. Like you actually said y'all, and I was shocked earlier. I didn't point it out, but I was like, true.
Y'all.
I don't know. Go there. Like you just have to see. We have the biggest portions of food you've ever had in your life. You'll pay. Oh hell yeah! Texas's fast food king above all is Whataburger, and it's the saltiest, greasiest thing I've ever had. Last time I ate it, got the worst food poisoning in my whole life. I had like a 15-hour drive back to California from Texas, and I had food poisoning, and I was like, no. I just woke up. I went outside. We were parked at a gas station that had like 30 pumps, cause Texas, and it was like 9 a.m. on a Thursday. It's like at the suburbs. Like there's nice, lovely people with their kids, and I walk out of the bus and projectile vomit. Like in my mind, it felt like 15 feet, but it was far, and it was a lot. And I was just like, at least nobody saw me. And I turned around, and everybody's just so upset. Everyone's so upset. And then it was brutal. But then, yeah, the 15-hour drive back, it's hard to be like, because everybody wants to go home after a month of touring. Like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. So I'm like, okay, I might poop my pants, but I'm just going to clinch and just try and take a nap. And I'm sweating. I'm pouring sweat. And I was like, oh, I'm so tired. My body's so weak. Maybe if I just close my eyes for a second. Woke up, and I pooped my pants. And and for the longest time, you know, you have a lot of dumb conversations while you're on the road. People are like, how have you not pooped your pants in as an adult? And I'm thinking it's like the most absurd thing I've ever heard. I was like, well, first of all, I'm an adult man. There's no way I'm gonna poop my pants ever. And lo and behold, I was proved wrong. And now I know what it feels like.
Maybe it's a rite of passage, you know.
You know what is a rite of passage, though, is that 100% of band guys have had to, at least one time or another, poop in a bag and throw it out the window.
Hot bagging.
Hot bagging. See? Of course. I can't be the
well
first
informed.
person. Exactly. See, she knows.
But I know it's a Warped Tour thing.
It is.
Wow. That's quite an ending. Let's wrap it up. Let's kind of leave it at that. No, that was definitely a highlight. Thanks for revealing all these crazy stories. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time and have an awesome show.
Thank you.
Sweet. No worries.